First came a winter blast, now comes a soaking of the money kind. We're going to hit on a few power-related financials. Let's start with this. You have a plan, but do you know what it is? When you signed up for electric service, you either got an indexed rate, a variable rate, or hopefully a fixed rate. Log on to your electricity account or find the paperwork so you can be sure. Here's why. There is a marketplace where electricity is bought and sold in bulk before it ever gets to most of us retail consumers. Now, with supply and demand so out of whack this week, the wholesale cost of electricity for 1 megawatt of power in Texas went from about $50 to $9,000. If you're on a fixed rate plan, what you pay per kilowatt hour isn't affected by that. If you're on an indexed or variable one, your rate can move with that market. Now, depending on how the plan is set up, some customers and even some electric companies are in for some sticker shock. One provider is even suggesting that our members switch to another provider with a fixed rate. Now, some have a much more difficult time changing their plans. Usually, we're talking about businesses that use a lot of power. It is a gamble with these flexible plans. They may have recently been paying about 3 or 4 pennies per kilowatt hour. Now it's closer to 2 dimes or more. If rates like that keep up, a CEO of a Dallas electric brokerage told me that some businesses could actually go out of business just because of their next electric bill.
I've seen in the past, speaking for larger commercial customers or even small business, they go from a $15,000 bill to a $200,000 bill, and then next thing you know, they're going out of business.
Finally, if you didn't lose electricity, congratulations. Except if you have a heat pump system and one of those fancier screens for a thermostat, you may have seen it read emergency heating recently. That is a secondary heater that kicks in automatically, usually when the temps outside drop below about 30 to 35 degrees, and they've been well below that lately. Emergency heat does make the house nice and toasty again, but it eats up electricity, up to 50% more than your heat pump does. So if you kept your thermostat higher than the mid or high 60s, let's say, and emergency heat was running a lot, be prepared for a potentially big spike in your next electric bill. For those who lost power, sorry. And it still might cost you. I saw people whose indoor temperatures dropped to 24 degrees. Yeah, they weren't paying for electricity while it was off, but try heating a home from 24 all the way back up to 68. And a rule of thumb, each degree you add makes your heating cost rise by about 3%. Multiply that by about 44 degrees, and you see that the money you saved while you were shivering in the dark has now been spent, and maybe then some. So be prepared for the possibility of a higher than usual bill, even if you were in the blackout for a long time.